Hey Eagles fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into the Eagles Report, and today we have some fresh Philadelphia Eagles news and rumors, some really good news in the injury point. We're going to get to all those here in a second. First off, though, really appreciate you guys getting me to 500 subscribers in less than a week. I mean, we've been growing so fast here at the Eagles Report, trying to get to 600 now. We're close. Maybe by the end of this week for the Bears game, if you like these videos, you like the Eagles, hit the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And also, get a little score prediction, little contest going on here. If you correctly predict the score of the Eagles-Bears game down below with the winner, 24-10 Eagles, whatever you guys think it is, get it down in the comments. I will find you, because, it won't be that hard. Just type in the score. I'll find you. And then you'll get a shout-out to start next week's video. So the first video next week, if you get it right, you will be shouted out at the very, very beginning. So go ahead, get your predictions in down below. But without further ado, let's jump into the first bit of news today regarding the Eagles, and that has to do with the great news. DeSean Jackson's back, baby. DeSean Jackson, star wide receiver, been out since week 1, has had the abdominal injury. He practiced for the first time with the team on Wednesday. Now, he's been on the practice field rehabbing, but off to the side and stretching and light jogging, and we were all really worried that he might not come back for a little while after the Bears game, but Doug Peterson said he'd practiced. Sure enough, he did, and it looks like he's going to be good to go to play on Sunday, barring some sort of unforeseen setback. Now remember, played great in week 1. Remember, he had 8 catches, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was a superstar, really stretched the field for the Eagles offense. But we all, after the injury, went, is he going to get back to full health? Is he going to get back anytime soon? Should he go on IR? The good news is he's back. And also, the other good news is people are worried about his speed being down because he's running in the abdominal injury. People clocked him in at practice yesterday, 23, 24 miles per hour. That's his normal speed. Remember, last week, 2 weeks ago, he was clocked in about 16 miles an hour off to the side when they were testing his speed. So it looks like we're going to get the fully healthy DeSean Jackson the remainder of the year. Now, he will play through soreness. They've said this before. They're going to give him shots, and they're going to bandage him up, and he should be fine. But that's a nagging injury he'll deal with the rest of the season. So my one question for DeSean is, how many plays are we going to see? Because he's clear to play. But what if they, limit him? Are they going to try and get him in for just 10 snaps, get him a couple of catches, or is he going to be fully good to go like he was week 1, where he really, really balled out until was injured in the Falcon game, like the first play or the first couple plays of the Falcon game in week 2. So good news is, though, number 10 will be out there, stretch the field. Hopefully it'll open up throws for Ertz and for Aguilar and for Alshon Jeffrey as well. Good news is DeSean Jackson is back. Final thought here on this, though, is maybe this is why the Eagles did not trade for Robbie Anderson. Remember, we talked about it last week. Robbie Anderson seemed like the surefire deal the Eagles were going to make, but the Jets wanted a second-round pick. The Eagles said no, and that probably is because Howie Roseman, all the Eagles front office men said, listen, we're getting DeSean Jackson back. We trust he's going to be healthy, and if we have DeSean Jackson, then we will be just fine. So maybe they knew what they were doing and decided to not trade for Robbie Anderson. What do you guys think? How effective is DeSean Jackson going to be this Sunday? We talking about 3 catches, 10 catches, 100 yards, less than 100 yards? Give me a prediction. What do you guys think in terms of catches and yards for DeSean Jackson down below? Other good news, another injury front. Eagles have been banged up all year while they're getting back another corner in Avonte Maddox, who has been out since the Week 4 game against the Green Bay Packers when Sendejo, his own teammate, helmet-to-helmet contact, unintentional, but a nasty head injury, a bad concussion. They carted him off the field in Green Bay on Thursday night. We all were like, boy, when are we going to see him again? Well, cleared, he practiced, and he will play and assume the nickel cornerback spot on Sunday. He will take over the slot, basically filling in for Sidney Jones, who has been awful in the slot so far this year. So now, think about it. The Eagles have the starting 5 in the secondary they were expecting to have way back during the offseason. Mills, Darby on one side, McLeod, Jenkins out back, and then they got in the nickel Avonte Maddox returning. So this is good news for an Eagles secondary that ranks in the bottom half of the league and has struggled all year. They also play Mitch Trubisky, which hopefully, and again, hopefully, you never know, Mitch might have a good game against us, which would be totally ironic, but there could be a good game for the Eagles secondary to capitalize, come together, and show that, hey, we were bad early on because we were injured. We are a lot better now. And the final thought on this is it goes the same with DeSean Jackson. The Eagles were linked to Chris Harris Jr., and they were linked to Jalen Ramsey, and they were linked to Patrick Peterson, didn't make a trade. We all said, whoa, send a third, get Chris Harris Jr., help out your secondary, and yet maybe the Eagles knew, hey, Mills is back, Darby's back, we're going to get Maddox back, and we're going to be a good secondary without having to spend draft picks. So hopefully they were right. We'll see what happens going forward, but the good news is no more Sidney Jones. He's out as a slot cornerback. Insert Avonte Maddox, who was really good last year, especially in that Saints game. Question here, though. You got 3-4 corners on the team. Who's the best corner the Eagles have? Is Rasul Douglas? Do you wish Rasul Douglas was in there? I don't. I'm really happy that it's Jalen Mills and Ronald Darby. But who is it? Maddox, Darby, Jones, or Mills? You want to throw in Douglas? Let me know who you guys think is the best cornerback for the Eagles. And finally here, quick preview. Eagles-Bears, obviously Sunday, 1 p.m. on Fox at Lincoln Financial Field. The Eagles are 4.5-point favorites at home against Mitch Trubisky and company. My 3 big questions that I want to present to you guys that I'm looking for on the field. We already mentioned it. Can the Eagles secondary capitalize on Mitch Trubisky, who has played very poorly the last couple of weeks? Now, the Bears coming off a loss where they should have beaten Chicago. They had another missed field goal. They have the revenge in their minds because we beat them last year off the double dunk of Cody Parkey. But will the Eagles secondary, playing against a team that is not good throwing the football, be able to stand out, stand up, get some picks, and kind of go, hey, we're healthy now, and we're not going to let Mitch beat us throwing the football, because we're going to load the box, and we're going to stop Tariq Cohen and David Montgomery, but Mitch is going to have his opportunities to throw. Can the Eagles secondary step up? That's question number 1. Number 2, we already asked it. Will DeSean's impact even be felt? DeSean Jackson being back out there on the field, will it be noticeable, right? Because the Eagles offense at times has been sputtering to throw the football. Now we expect them to run the ball with Jordan Howard, and Miles Sanders is going to be there, and Carson Wentz is Carson Wentz. But can the Eagles offense look as good as it did in the second half of the Redskins game with DeSean Jackson stretching the field, and then Ertz being, kind of over the middle, with Alshon being your possession receiver as well? I think this is a big question that I'm curious to see answered come Sunday. And finally, Andre Dillard, the rookie left tackle, filling in for Jason Peters. We barely mentioned his name last week, especially in the broadcast. He was holding down the left side well against a very good Buffalo Bills front 4. Will he be able to do the same against Khalil Mack and company in what is the 7th-ranked total defense in Chicago? Now, normally Mack lines up on the right side, so he'd take on Jason Peters like he did last year in the postseason, but they're going to move him around and get some one-on-one matchups with the rookie Andre Dillard. Can he continue to show progression? He did it last week. I think he's going to be able to hold up, but I'm keeping my eye on that entire Eagles offensive line against Khalil Mack and company. There we go. All the time we have for today on the Eagles Report. Really appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel, getting your predictions down below, because I'll give the shout out at the next week's video. And of course, stay tuned, because we got a lot of great Eagles content that's brewing here for the Eagles Report. So get your subscriptions in. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. For the Eagles Report, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.